Hi, we're here with Huyse. She's Cami Chat on Twitter, and Communication Overtones is her blog, and she's a solo PR pro. And Cami, I know you've really been around in the social media space for a long time, and you've kind of seen some people make a big splash for themselves and maybe flame out a little bit. Yet you've stayed. You're someone who's still leading panels here at PRSA, and so what do you think is important for an independent PR person to keep in mind when they're sort of building their visibility?
Yeah, I really am glad you asked me that question, because I think what's so important for us as independents is that first of all, we do need to make a name for ourselves of some kind, because it's hard to break out through the clutter. It's really hard. So the first thing that I did is I really focused on being the best at what I could be. Just investing in my education, spending a lot of time studying things before I jumped out into them. My blog, my original incarnation of my blog, which is what my purpose was at the time, was to learn all that I could, and as I learned it, to share it immediately. So that was my goal, is to share information, and that attracted a lot of attention that I wasn't expecting, because I was sharing. That means other people were getting value from what I was putting out there. It's not that I was saying I was an expert at it, because I wasn't. I was saying, I'm learning, come learn with me. Let's learn together. And people really responded to that. So I think that, and you too, Kelly, that's a really good point. We talked about your blog before it started, and one of the things you said is that you really had a passion for the independent practitioner and really sharing with them, and that immediately resonated with me, because I said, yeah, that is absolutely the way to do it. So what I suggest is that people that want to do this, to kind of break through in this area, is that look at what you do in your practice and see what you do that you can share with others. And I know it sounds really contradictory, because you want to compete, make sure that you get good contracts, but the truth is the more that you share, the more people think of you when good contracts come along.
Right. And there's a lot of buzz around the topic of personal branding. What do you think about that?
Well, I understand why people are really talking about it, because that's really an issue. And for independents, I think it's very seductive, because that's really all we are, is write our personal brand. Most of us are sole proprietors. Some of you might be LLC, but most are sole proprietors. And we're thinking, okay, all we have is our own reputation, I guess, or your name. But my point is that let your work speak for itself. Let your work speak for itself. I met with a guy yesterday, and I won't name names, but somebody kind of well known in the social media space, and he said, I think I've heard of you before. And we started talking, and I gave him some of my background, and I mentioned one of my projects, and he goes, oh, yeah, I know that project. I know you because of that project. And I thought to myself, well, that's one of the best compliments I got all day. The guy didn't know me from Adam, but he knew my work. And I thought that was a real compliment. So I still believe that your reputation is really important. And moreover, your character. I wrote a blog post about this, that reputation is the shadow of character. That is something Lincoln said, so I'm not going to take credit for that, and it's in the post. But I really thought that was amazing. Yes, we work on our character, sharing with each other, and that casts your reputation out into the public sphere. And that, I think, is so important. I don't know. That's pretty much what I think about that.
Right, because, if you burn bridges as an independent contractor, again, that's something that, all we have is our name, and, that speaks back to character, in my view.
Right, and even if you don't agree with somebody out there, which often I don't, believe me,
right.
I really work hard on withholding judgment and trying to get to know that person first before, trashing them. It's easy to say something really snarky on Twitter.
Right.
So let's work on thinking about how we can build each other up rather than tear each other down.
Oh, that's perfect, because I think you're terrific at doing that. You've always been, a great resource to me, and so I won't embarrass you any further. But thanks for your time.
Thank you, Kelly. It's great to see you.
Thanks.